Hi, Laura, are you there?
I'm here. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Good.
Perfect.
How are you getting on?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I've been watching all day. The content's been amazing. You must be so proud of what you put together.
Yeah, it's turned out much better than expected. I was, maybe 50 people. Well, it'll be nice. I think at one point we had over 300 on the feeds. We were well over halfway to smashing the £10,000 target. Yeah, it's all really, really well. But should we get stuck in?
Yeah. Shall I just share my screen? Is that okay?
Yeah.
A second. Can you see?
Yep.
Cool. Just bear me 1 minute. Oh, yeah. So for tonight, obviously, I want to talk about success in property using social media. There is no better time to be on social media than right now, and if this is not kind of the catalyst for you to do it, I really don't know what's going to be. So I'll take you through any questions. Please, I'm happy to answer them at the end if that's okay, because I am a little bit conscious of time.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
What we'll do is I'll keep an eye on the comments, get them ready for the end, and look forward to running through them then.
Cool, let's go. So my name's Laura Muse. We've been invested in Sheffield, which is where we live, we invest, and we've invested there now for the past 8 years in a mixture of things. So buy-to-lets, HMOs, done a couple of new build projects. We also buy land. So my husband is the one with all the experience prior to me joining him in September 2018. Since then, we've had a real roller coaster of a ride. We've gone from just having iSquared property to having the training, the lettings, the sourcing, developments, and also now we have an electrical and plumbing arm to our business. So it's grown very rapidly in a short period of time. We've doubled our portfolio, so purely just in our portfolio alone, when we started in September 18, we had 6 units, which just brought in just under £1,500 a month. Now we're at 14, and our income purely from our buy-to-lets is just under 5,000 a month, which for us is kind of where we want it to be. We're just starting our second, well, not just starting, we're six weeks into our new build project, which is the second one. So that's three bed detached homes in Chesterfield. Like I say, we've done a range of different strategies within our property business. But the main thing, and the thing that absolutely was a game changer for us, was utilising social media to raise over £4 million worth of investment. Now, no, it would be very nice if all that money was in our bank. It's kind of spread across our different businesses. So whether that's people investing on a return basis, or if that's people who want to purely work with us in our deal packaging business. And then we also have an investor bank strategy where we help other local developers. We also have the lettings and management side. Like I say, we've got the iSquared training, which is a mix of property and social media combined. And then we have a podcast called The Social Propertypreneur. So that's kind of us in a nutshell. I really want to say thanks to Joss for arranging this event. It's something very close to my heart. My sister-in-law and my mother-in-law, unfortunately, have had the COVID-19 virus. Luckily, they're okay. My sister-in-law is on the front line for the NHS, and she did contract it because there was no PPE equipment. So if you haven't donated, please put your hand in your pocket and give us as much as you can. I mean, the content has been outstanding. You've still got 2 more days to go. So there's the link. Please dig deep. So for me, social media, this slide for me completely sums it up. So my background prior to being a full-time investor since 18 is sales and marketing, but not in property. It's from an equestrian background, which is horses, if people don't know what that is. I've always been in sales and marketing, and the thing that I've always kind of had drilled into me is people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And also you need between 7 and 9 touch points before somebody is ready to buy. And that was something that when I started in property, became quite apparent that it's going to take me quite a long time if I'm not utilising this vehicle to kind of gain that. So I started by going to a lot of networking events, January 19. In January, I went to over 20 networking events, which is just insane, because we got into this to spend more time together as a family, and I was away morning, lunch and evenings and all these networking events. I soon realised that there must be a quicker way of doing that, and obviously with my marketing background, I thought social media has got to be the way to do that. So for me, social media is a one-to-many strategy. What do I mean by that? So you put one piece of content out on social media, it reaches hundreds, if not thousands of people. If you consistently do that over time, the reach of the people that you are actually affecting is incredible. And it really does build up a community around you if you've been consistent and you're posting regularly, you're being visible, and the connections are unbelievable. Now, I'm not saying don't go out and do one-to-one face networking. I'm not saying that. You know, I run PPN Leamington Spa with a co-host. I do think they are still valuable, but what I'm saying is you can be a little bit more particular of where you go. And at this time, this is what you need to be doing to network. You need to be on social media. So social media marketing is what I'm going to be talking a lot about. But if you're not convinced about social media, obviously this event has been marketed on social media. Facebook alone's got over 2.4 million active users each month. That is an incredible amount, and that's just one of the many, many platforms that are available now. So the great thing with Facebook, which this doesn't actually show, is it should be split into two categories. It should be Facebook and Facebook video, because YouTube actually is the #1 go-to platform if you split that up. And which falls second is actually Facebook video. So video is an absolute king to building up know, like and trust. And you need to be doing it. And this is a time where you really need to put aside any apprehension you have about doing it and just go for it. Because once you start being consistent, you will definitely reap the rewards going forward and coming out of something like this. For me at this time, I feel that people that are not putting themselves out there, not giving value, not giving content, the people who aren't doing that after this has happened will be forgotten about. It's the people that are helping others, being consistent, giving great value, that are going to build big property businesses going forward. So for me, when I first started in property, there were a few key areas that obviously we wanted to kind of get into, and utilising social media has meant that we can do that very quickly. But the #1 thing for us, luckily, when we first started in property, that we had a chunk of money. So we sold a previous business. So luckily we did have some cash to start with. But as we all know, it runs out very quickly. You start buying properties, you're waiting for refinance to come through, gets tied up really quickly. So we didn't want our property business to kind of come to a grinding halt because we didn't have cash. So I set on social media in March 19. The reason why I did was to attract investment. That was my #1 goal. From that, we've developed a learn and earn scheme. Obviously, we've got our deal packaging business. But the main #1 priority for us, and still is lending on a return. So we've got a new build project at the moment, and that is funded by private investment. So a private investor is funding that. We've not had to go for development finance. Luckily, long story short, we had an investor. We went for development finance. We didn't need development finance because we got another private investor. But that's what I mean by being consistent. You will still attract these people. It's great for attracting landlords and meeting landlords, which I'm going to go through to in a bit more depth as we go through. You can approach a landlord and talk about creative strategies. One, they're not advertising a property with an agent, they're trying to do it themselves. So you're getting straight to them instead of going through an agent or something like that. You can buy directly from them, so you can normally negotiate a win-win situation for both. And then obviously we have a management company, so if none of them kind of fit in, we can also offer to manage that property for them. Tenants, you can attract tenants on social media. Obviously, you can attract direct to vendors. We do a lot of direct to vendor campaigns to get a lot of off-market properties, and we do, and it's great. But also, a lot of homeowners try and sell their own properties these days through Facebook, believe it or not. So there's loads and loads of options. It really is an abundance of different things that you can attract and target, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about now. So when I first started in social media, I didn't have any kind of system. So I've developed this one. Luckily, I can't hear you all laughing. It is my surname, which is Muse, so you won't forget me. So the M stands for marketing yourself and your business brand. And then you've got the U, which is all about understanding your target market, which is really, really important. Obviously, the S is for the social media platforms, and the E is about engaging content. So the most common thing people say to me is, I don't post because I don't know what to post. So hopefully by the end of this, you'll have an abundance of ideas. I'm going to go through the first two sections quite quickly because I want to kind of give you a lot of content on the second two. But marketing you and your business, it's all about personal and business branding. Now, I'm not a personal branding expert, but I can share what's worked for me. What we did is we identified our niche, our USP, so in our business and in our personal brand. So obviously I'm a northern girl, I do speak very northern, we're a husband and wife duo, we only invest investors' money where we have our own properties, so kind of we developed a USP from that. Showcase your knowledge, document your journey and share your experiences. A bit faster. And then what that will actually do is that will build a community around you, build a following of people who really like your content, connect with, engage with you, and then you can create your own communities, like I have done with my social media community, where we all share ideas, help and support each other. But also, you need to be of service to others, so helping other people gives you recognition. People start mentioning you all sorts of sorts. Like Laura Muse, for example, helped me with social media. But also staying socially connected. So what I do see a lot of is people are clearly trying to build their brand. They're putting loads of great content out there. People are connecting with them, liking and commenting, but there's no engagement. They're not really replying back. And the people who are trying to support them and trying to connect with them, when they post, they don't give that kind of back to them. So very soon that kind of following dwindles and they wonder why they're not building a personal brand, and it's because it's not reciprocated. They're not helping others. Just remember who you are and just be yourself. There's nothing worse than someone who's trying to make out that they're something that they're clearly not. The thing with social media, it's very transparent. You will get found out. It takes a very, very long time for you to build up a reputation, but it can be gone in seconds, and I really do mean that. So be true, be authentic to yourself, and just be who you are. I'm a northerner. So these are some images that I had done for my personal branding, for my podcast. I'm just sharing them with you because I think if you are thinking of building a personal brand, you really need to have professional images done. My husband hates this photograph. But I think it's important because you want to be giving people that professional feel about what you're doing. And one word I'm going to say throughout this presentation is congruent. It needs to be congruent between personal brand, business brand, and through all of your platforms that you're working on. So personal branding, definitely get some profile headshots done, get some lifestyle images done so you can use them on your website and your social media. Building a business brand, target audience is very, very, very important if you're going to be using advertising, which we're going to go into next after this section. Company mission statement, have you got one? I would probably say a lot of people don't, so you need to put your mission statement together. We've got a mission statement, and we actually, it's to provide affordable housing for families in Sheffield, but giving our investors a secure return on their money. Before we think of any new strategy or new product product or service that we may put out, if it doesn't sit in line with value, we just don't do it. So have your mission statement for your business. Also, you need to research your competitors. I would probably say a lot of people have never done this. Now, what do I mean by that? So obviously a lot of people have got property businesses. Research what they're doing. What are they niching in? Are they offering a service that you're not? So for example, at the moment, in our area in Sheffield, probably shouldn't be saying this out loud, but in our area in Sheffield, we are offering a refurb and furniture package for HMO landlords. We've got a lot of HMO landlords that need the properties updating and also the furniture replacing. So we're really hitting that hard. No one else is really doing it in our area. What's your key qualities and benefits of working with your business? Create a logo and your tagline. So our tagline is creating wealth through bricks and mortar. And what type of brand voice have you got? So what do I mean by that? So are you an assertive person? Are you a corporate person? Are you quite funny and friendly? You need to, whatever your personal brand is, that needs to come through in your business brand because it needs to be congruent. What's your brand message and your elevator pitch? I'm sure over these last few weeks, you've done dozens and dozens of elevator pitches, and you need to tweak it and get your business involved in that. Don't just talk about yourself all the time. And also let your personality from your personal brand shine into your business brand. So the strength in my team, in my brand is my team. So like I said, I don't have vast amounts of property experience prior to 2018, but I've been really hands-on. I've documented my journey. You can see that I do get involved. I've learned loads from my husband. I've paid a lot on education, and you know, yes, I don't know everything. I mean, I've been listening to people today, and they're just so knowledgeable, so experienced. But you know what? My team are too. I may not be, but my team definitely is. So we, at any opportunity, we advertise, we tell people about who's in our team, what they do, what value they bring, because this is strengthening our brand. So yes, I may not know about new builds, how to, you know, from start to finish, but my husband does, and also the site manager does. Dave is a massive asset to our business. He analyses every single penny we spend. He does business strategy going forward. He tells us about different avenues potentially that we've missed that we should go down. A real asset to our business, and these people make our business great. Talking about personalities, this is a bit of a spectrum, so either screenshot it or something along them lines. Quite happy to share the slides after. But this is kind of polar opposites, and you need to kind of find out where you sit in this, and then obviously be congruent throughout business brand and personal brand. It's all about building know, like and trust, but what know, like and trust really means for me is you need to be visible, you need to be authentic, and you need to be consistent. So one of the things that my investors say to me is, I say, well, I meet them I get a lead from social media, we get talking, they're like, you've been so consistent over the last 12 months on social media. There's a lot of people we see, they come and do a few months and they vanish. Clearly things aren't going well, so then they start coming back on social media, trying to raise funds, and that inconsistency is not what people buy into. Or for example, maybe you do a couple of days and you go off grid for a couple of weeks and you come back on for a day. For me, I like to show people exactly what we're doing in our business, and feedback from investors is that actually we can see your projects from start to finish. You're on social media every day, and for us that really instills trust in you and your business. So that's how we've got a lot of investment in a short period of time. Target market. So checking the time. Target market is important. I can't go into loads of depth, but this is just a bit of an overview for you. When you trying to decipher your audience, you need to look at these key factors. So age, gender, location, education, what is their profession, what's their income, marital status, their lifestyle, their personality, and their interests and hobbies. Now, why would you look at their personality? personality. Well, maybe they're quite a risk-averse person. So maybe something like a new build project is not really going to sit well with them, but a buy-to-let would. You really need to analyse this. I got several different, I call them avatars for my business, depending on what I'm trying to achieve. What is my goal? Is it to find investment on a return? Is it a learn and earn? Am I looking for a landlord? Am I looking for a new tenant for my HMO? All these people have avatars, and that's what I use when I'm doing my specific marketing and thinking about what content I'm going to be putting out on social media. This is what I use. Feel free to screenshot. Happy to send you it if you want to email me. That's absolutely no problem. But there is loads of these online. Social media platforms, minefields. What I would say is if you've not really put yourself out there on social media just yet, and maybe you're just starting, please, please, please don't go and sign up to every single one and start thinking that you need to post on every single one every day. You're going to get very overwhelmed and you're just not going to do it. So my advice from personal experience and from a lot of other people that I mentor is we only advise you when you're first starting is to choose one or two max platforms, concentrate on one of them, build it up, and when you're feeling comfortable, you're getting into the rhythm of it, you know, understand what we're trying to achieve, then we can obviously look at other avenues. But them first two are always decided on who our target market is, because where our target market is where we put our time and effort. I'm sure a lot of people feel like this. Obviously, I can't see you, but if you give a thumbs up, I'm sure a lot of people do feel like this. And do you know what? Some days I do, especially when all this kicked off. There was so much negativity, and that I did feel like that. But you know, you really need to get out of your own way. Things are going digital. This is going to be a digital revolution that is happening now. More people are going online. I've spoken to a lot of agents that going forward, they're actually going to do a lot more virtual viewings. And I said, well, why are you going to do that? Well, actually, it saves us time, it saves us money. And actually what we're going to do is do virtual viewings in the first instance, ask for proof of funds. That's from one investor, one estate agent I spoke to on Tuesday. And then if they can't provide proof of funds, we're not going to do a physical view. And I said, well, that's a bit harsh, do you not think? She's like, no, because we just get so many time wasters. So things are going to change after this, and you need to be online. Now, there's loads of different, these are just a few. There are a lot more social media platforms than this. Obviously, TikTok is a new, hip, trendy one. A lot of fun, actually. So if you're not on there, have a look. But the one I want to focus on more today is Facebook. It's the one I love. It's the one that generates me most of my business. And I'm going to give you some top tips. But why would you use Facebook? So Facebook is a huge platform, huge platform. You've got over 2.2 million active users, so it's actually gone up from that. It's 2.4 now. The great thing about Facebook is you actually get a longer term average user. So the average user on Facebook is on there for about 2.5 hours, and they're on there every day, if not several times a day. So like I say, 51% of people are on there several times a day. And it's a great way that you can use very targeted marketing, advertising campaigns. So that's why it's really crucial that you absolutely nail down your target audience, because when you start coming to paid advertising on Facebook, for instance, you really can go into a lot of detail and get to that actual person. 51% of people on Facebook buy from brands they like. So Facebook for me has always been my go-to, probably always will. So a few top tips about optimization of your social. So this actually does apply to all social media platforms, not just Facebook. But what you need to be doing is keywords are king. You need to be looking at what your keywords are for your business. You can use things like Google AdWords, which is free. I use something called SME Rush. Now, it is a paid platform. You can do a 7-day free trial. Make sure you cancel it after the 7 days, because otherwise they will bill you like $100. But it's very detailed, and it gives you really good, you can pull off reports about your keywords, your area, and it also gives you a lot of recommendations, goes into a lot of detail of what you should be doing. So SME Rush is a great tool to use. Find out what your keywords are, and then we need to start adding them into everything that we're doing. So you all probably know you need to, put your keywords into your website, but you need to be doing it on everything. So your posts that you're putting out on social media, your profiles, your about section. I try and put keywords in my name, especially like on LinkedIn. For my surname, I've got investing in Sheffield, a property investor in Sheffield. Get as many keywords in there as you can. What is that going to do? It's going to rank you higher organically on Google. If you're not on Google My Business, this is a really powerful tool. It's like a central engine to everything that's happening. It also links to, so it's like kind of a central hub. You got your keywords on there, it fires out to all your social media platforms, your website, any blogs you do, and it just automatically, it gives you a lot more organic reach than paying for it. And that's what you want at this stage, especially if you're just starting out, you want organic reach. Also things that you can do, so claiming your page name. So for example, if you're creating, obviously on Facebook, you need a Facebook profile to start, a personal profile. Then you can make pages from that. You can make as many pages as you want. So we've got 4 pages, which I'll show you in a minute. But you can actually claim the name of that page. So normally it would be like iSquared %, a load of numbers. But you can actually do it so it's very clean, it's very specific, and again, it's a keyword. Obviously search engines look at the number of likes that you've got, so update your pages as much as often, get as many new likes that you can get who are relevant to your niche. So don't just invite loads of random people, because if you're not getting engagement because they're not interested in your content, there's no point. The extra pages that you put on, so like I say, we've got 4 which I'm going to show you. We've got all them keywords and all them profiles because it ranks us higher, especially on Google, but as well as people are searching for us on Facebook. So what I was talking about, professional images, so the one on the left, I don't know if you're left or right, the one with the red top is a page, the one with the pink top is my personal profile. But as you can see, they are congruent. The reason why I've done that is because obviously on a Facebook profile, you have a maximum of 5,000 friends. So once you start putting yourself out there, you're going to get a lot of people engaging with you, and quickly you will get to that figure. You might not think it, but genuinely you do quickly get to that figure. So I need somewhere to move these people. So then I'll move them onto my Laura Muse page, unlimited likes, paid advertising. So if I start doing other things, I can target people, can put as much content on there as you want. People can interact with you as well. So if you've not got a personal, as I call it, page, I would definitely recommend you did that. And these are our 3 business pages. As you can see, all completely congruent. Now, why would you do that? You're probably thinking, well, wouldn't you do them a bit different? Actually, what I find and what people advise you, especially marketeers, so you might go on iSquared property, but then you might pop up and see iSquared training. They look identical, they're just different colours. And if somebody's already following you and they see that, they will just not even think about it and like it. They will automatically like it because you've taken up mind space. And that's what we're trying to do with social media. In everything that we're doing, we're trying to take up people's mind space. When I was really on it last year, like every single day, like 6 times a day sometimes, which is crazy, I actually had a few people say to me, I see you more than I see my wife, which is a bit creepy, and actually it is. But I'm taking up people's mind space, and that's what you need to be doing. Groups are powerful. Facebook groups are my favourite. So joining communities, like this one, for example, has got over 25,000 people, I think, in it. This is where I've got majority of my investors from, utilising communities that are already set up. So you've got the PIN network, you've got several other ones. Join whatever is in your niche. So maybe if you're in a HMO niche, join that group, start posting, you might get investors from it. And I will guarantee you, being consistent. So I was posting to this group. It took me 7 weeks to raise £600,000 of money. If you'd have told me that when I first started, I genuinely would not believe you. I didn't think anyone would invest with me. I truly didn't. But by documenting what I was doing, being consistent and visible, people grew know, like and trust, and that's why they invest with us now. Now, this is really powerful stuff. So obviously on Facebook, you have an array of different pages, like local business pages, like this one, for example, buy, sell or rent a house in Sheffield. Why are these great pages? These are, we call them prowler pages. So we prowl on these pages, or my VA does, for landlords who are advertising. People are looking for properties to rent. So we've just recently had a tenant give notice on a HMO, and this morning I got tagged in a post from something like this of someone who was looking for a room in Sheffield, and she's probably going to take that room. That's not even 24 hours from us getting notice on that room. You can attract tenants, you can attract landlords in many different ways. The ones that I mentioned earlier, maybe you want to buy, maybe you want to manage, maybe you want to do a rent to rent, maybe you want to find new tenants. These are great platforms to do that, especially in property. You can also utilise them. So I have put ads on there saying we're looking to rehome some professionals in Sheffield. We need 3-bedroom semi-detached houses. Can anybody help? You can also get leads like that to encourage rent to rent. You can purchase them, you can do lease options on them. So that is a massive asset for you as a property investor that you need to be utilising. Content. Check the time. 4 key areas of content, key content areas that I believe. There's entertaining, inspiring people, convincing people, and educating people. So what do I mean by that? So particularly convince what you're doing. If you don't believe you're not a salesperson, you genuinely are. Anyone who is a business owner that's putting themselves out there, you are a salesperson. You're trying to get people, you're getting them to buy into you, into your business, into your vision. So when I'm doing social media posts, for example, to convince somebody, I'm not convincing them. All I'm doing is I'm overcoming objections before we've even had that initial phone call. So I might be stood outside a house, obviously not right now, but in this time, but I might be stood outside a house. I might say, we bought this property with 100% investor finance. One, I've just told people that we take people's money on a return. This investor's getting a great return, another seed. I'll take you in now and I'll show you around, go around the house. I'm giving value and telling people what I'm doing. I come out of the house and say, great thing about this is this investor wanted some security. So they've actually got a first charge on this property. 3 seeds I've just dropped there. Why we invest on a return basis, they're getting a great return on their money, and also thirdly, what security that we can offer. We don't really do that now, it's more longer term thing, but when I first started, that is what we used to do, and it really does overcome objections before you have that initial phone call. You always need to have an objective. What is the goal of your post? Don't just post anything. A lot of people think, I put enough stuff out there, something's going to stick. But why waste your time? Time's valuable. If you're anything like me, I want to spend as much time with my family as possible, not putting posts together. So objective of your post, what is the goal? Is it to attract people, i.e. investors, landlords, tenants? Are you trying to put them onto a platform or your website? What is the product or service? Are you trying to promote that? How are you going to do it? What's your target market, which is really important? You can build rapport, so it's all about the know, like, trust, especially with social media. And it can position somebody as an expert. So when I started in Sheffield, obviously no one knew who I was. I didn't really know loads about property. And I'll be honest with you, in September 18, I didn't even know what deal packaging was. But now, if anyone puts anything about Sheffield, you know, I've proved with all the social proof that I've done, I can share my experiences, I've shared my knowledge, I'm showing people what we're doing and it's working. I am knowledgeable about what we do now. And if somebody puts a post about Sheffield and deal packaging, I would say a high percentage of that, my name would be mentioned at least between 5 and 10 times. Because I've been consistent and I've positioned myself as that person, that go-to person in my area. Attract investors and investment, 100%. And also, every time you're on there, you really need to be thinking about the SEO ranking, getting your keywords in, 100%. You need to be doing that, and start with the end in mind. What's the end goal of this post? Is it to attract investment or find a property? Just a couple of ideas on here, things that work really well in these different categories. You can find this online, but I think it's quite good. So obviously things like checklists. So lead magnets are great, which I'm going to come on to. Competition quizzes, all these types of things you can give out as content. These are great assets to have as well. You can put them into different formats. Guides, ebooks. I'm all about ebooks. I love an ebook. Case studies, showing people what you've done before. Price lists. I don't really do price lists. Probably don't really in this industry unless you're into lettings. We do that for a lettings business, but we won't really kind of do a price list for obviously a deal packaging option. It's on a case-by-case basis. So where do you get your content from? Customer pain points or questions, 100%. Concerns about buying from us, so maybe they are not 100% certain about the security like I've just covered, or maybe it's a landlord and they're not 100% on our experience, so you can provide obviously a portfolio of things that you've worked with in the past. Frequently asked questions, so I do have a little book in my car, a little black book, not that type of book, and literally anything that I've ever been asked to write in there, because it's all pieces of content that I can use. Your why, so why are you doing it? Why are you in property? You know, if you've got a strong why, people might connect with that. Your how, so how are you doing it? How are you helping your customers? What can you offer them? But the key thing for me is all about experience, and that's where we've drummed up all the investment from. Documenting what we've been doing, giving people case studies of things that we've previously done, diarising our success, but more importantly, our failures, because not everything goes to plan. As much as I'd like it to, it doesn't. And I'm quite open about that on my social media, and I will share actually, do you know what? I've tried this and it hasn't worked, but what I'm going to do next time is X. People who do the social media post with the keys, 100% for that, but please give some content to that. So how have you got the property? What are you going to do with the property? What's the figures on the property? Not just, oh, new key day, we're going to let ourselves in now. That's no value to anybody. You've got to post with a purpose, and you've got to give people value. And also an absolute game changer, social proof. So showing people what we were doing, but also knowledge of your investment area. If you're in property, this is big. So I did a series last year, which is what raised me the £600,000, called Laura on Location, which, yes, I know how it sounds. But I literally went around 5 areas of Sheffield, told them why it was a great investment area, what the benefit was for the investor, what types of properties they could buy, typical purchase prices, typical gross yields, typical return on capital employed for a certain type of house at a refurb. And that's what got me the investment, the knowledge of me knowing my investment area inside out, because I've spent the time doing that. So if you can do that, 100% do it. At the minute you can use it online, so you know now's the perfect time to start doing that, telling people what's going on in development, for example, we've had Meadow Hall extended, we've got a new theme park that's supposed to be opening. Obviously that's probably not going to open now for a couple more months, but them types of things. World events, what is happening right now. I don't really post about world events personally, but you can do that. It's just not what I want to do, but you can jump on that bandwagon if you want. Observations, so asking for people's opinions and competitors, see what they're doing, maybe tweak it and try it a little bit different, see if it works better for you. Lead magnets, love them. So this is one of ours, so why should you invest in Sheffield? This is one for our investors. So you put the lead magnet out there, you put the bit.ly link. What you do then is you link it up to your CRM system. You get them to fill the form in, so name, contact details, email, go straight into your CRM system, initiate the conversation. So claim my free ebook, this is what we do. Ask them what type of investment. You can do this for everything, for tenants, for landlords, direct to vendor. It's a fantastic tool, and when you're giving people a lot of value, it really does kind of work in your favour, and they will follow you from that. If you're giving great value, people will follow you longer term. Social proof for me is king. I feel like not enough people do it. A lot of people talk a good game, but actually, are they actually out there doing this stuff? People say, you know, I bought 10 properties this month. Well, I've not seen you post about it once. Now, if I get anything or we're doing anything, it's 100% documented. Why? Because I am wanting to attract investment. I'm wanting to build a rapport with these people. I want them to know that we are completing and we can fulfill the projects that we are doing. They can see the quality of our work and they know that we are completing on the time frame that we set. That's why I show everything that we do on social media. So this is the this were in January, so that was when we was doing the ground investigations on our new build project. People love a crappy bathroom. I know they do. So this was literally before and after. You can see at the bottom it's got 235 likes, which is just insane. But people like before and afters because it gives they can see the value that you've added to that property. I also like to do, so I do a lot of direct to vendor campaigns, direct to HMO campaigns. So I like to obviously share my results with people because if maybe someone's disregarded direct to HMO, but by seeing what I've just shown now here, that might be something they might add into their business and it would be a big benefit to them, but they've never seen proof of it working. Now this particular one is an 18 bed, so there's actually 2 properties together, and we're just negotiating a deal on this for £800,000 off market property from a direct to HMO letter. So believe me, do not rule out HMO, direct marketing to HMO landlords if you just don't want HMOs because they've got loads of other properties. Telling people about where you invest. I love it. I literally do a post every single week about why Sheffield's a great investment area. And then this one's one of our most recent ones, the CGIs for our new build project. People like to see progress. They like to be inspired. They like information, so share it with people. And you really will start to see a lot of engagement if you're giving people value. Couple of things. So obviously with what's going on at the moment, I've tweaked a few things on social media. So I'm just going to share with you what they are. I've updated some of my profiles. Why have I done that in my about sections? Why have I done that? Because I want to be telling people we can offer hands-free virtual investing. So we can do virtual walkarounds of properties, etc. So I want to tell people that we can do that, and people are going to start searching for that. Visuals need to be in context. So I was recently watching something, an American-based company, Social Media Examiner. They was doing a study, and basically the content that they were putting out there on pre-scheduled posts actually was of people in groups and human-to-human contact, and actually they saw a massive drop in interaction by up to 30%. So they've changed their images and now that's come back up, but just be a little bit mindful. Maybe people don't want to see big groups of people, obviously, with what's going on. People are very emotional around this and sensitive, so we need to be a little bit more compassionate and be more thoughtful in what we're actually putting out there. Great time to start trying new formats and posting times, testing the posting times, because there's been massive disruption. What you probably nailed down before in regards to posting times will have completely changed because everyone, you know, most people are at home unless you're a key worker. So there's a lot more people online later at night on a weekend, whereas maybe before they kind of toned it down on a weekend because they wanted to be with their families, etc. So it's a great time now to test. So I've been starting to do things in an evening and on a weekend. Also, paid ads. There's been a massive drop in paid advertising. So Facebook have dropped their prices by 50%. It is forecast to drop further. It's actually the perfect time to start trialing with Facebook advertising. So what you can do, which is what I would advise you to do, especially because they're so cheap, do some split testing, do 2 or 3 ads for the same purpose, see what kind of visuals, content works best because it's cheap, and then you can run with that. One thing to be mindful of, obviously there's a lot more people online at the moment, so click-through rates have dropped, but it's an opportunity. I would definitely be grabbing that with both hands. And the last one is about elongating your sales funnel. Obviously I've got a sales background. I used to do in our sales campaign to our investors, we, apart from all the social media stuff we do, we have a series of 9 emails that go out. That's now extended to 15 emails because we're creating extra soft seeds that go in between. They are ready to buy. You know, they can't buy now, but they will buy from you eventually. It just might not be right this second. So you need to maintain the relationship with them. You need to build the relationship, give them information and inspire them to work with you after this is finished. If you're maybe somebody who's not posted on social media because of what's happening, if you're not inspiring people, people are going to go elsewhere, 100%. If you're not leading, people are going to go to the people who are, and you're going to lose business. Don't forget on your social media posts, put a call to action. What do you want them to do? Call to action is literally, you need to tell them what you want them to do next. Do you want them to sign up to your ebook? Do you want them to go to your website? Do you want them to email you? Tell them exactly what you want them to do. I put this together especially for you guys who are watching. It's completely free. I would normally charge, obviously I'm not doing that. Everyone who's, please donate. In here it's got things about what I've just gone through. Also it's got a complete social media strategy. So now is the time to put a strategy together. It's got every aspect of a strategy in that document. So go and download it. It's absolutely free, and please give me some feedback on it. And if you want to join our social media community, please feel free to do so. Please put your hands in your pockets. I hope what I've said is of value to you tonight, and hope you start implementing a few little nuggets I've maybe given you. There's
Perfect.
my contact details.
Thank you very much for that, Laura. That was incredible. You know, that was really filled with information. People are kind of really saying how good that was in terms of implementing it straight away, and a lot of great content there. And even with your ebook as well, I'd imagine there's a lot of it in that as well. I posted a picture in that in the group, so you've got that bit.ly link in there as well.
If anyone wants the slides, I'm happy to share them. I know there's a lot of stuff there, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose the easiest way, if you can PDF them, stick them in the group, and that way if anybody needs them, they can refer back to those.
No problem.
Okay, perfect. I don't think we've got any time for questions, but if any time you can go through the comments, there's a couple of people in there that have got a couple of questions, and see if you can help those guys.
That's brilliant.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Josh.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.